Hey everybody, another gun video for you, coming to you from my kitchen in my apartment. So I recently just did a video, my very first video on a FN 509 Tactical. I just kind of want to go over some more guns I have. Again, it's not necessarily a review. It is just kind of show you what I have, talk about my experiences with it, and maybe if you want to set up a gun like this, you can do that moving forward. So the gun that I have here for you is a Daniel Defense Mark 18 from the factory with some goodies on it. From the factory, these guns don't really come with anything. Pretty much just the weapon itself and nothing else. So we'll just go from muzzle to the end, and we'll talk about kind of what I have here. So with that being said, I do have a Air Sandman S. Air Sandman S. I like the suppressor a lot. I got it probably about a month ago. So obviously I'm still kind of testing it out. It's my only suppressor, my very first suppressor. I just thought it would be a good thing to get into, because I bought the 30 cal suppressor because if I end up buying a 300 blackout or a 7.62, I'll be able to run it on multiple weapon systems. I kind of felt like the modularity of it would be a good idea instead of just getting a dedicated 5.56 cam, which is what this is. In order to put it on, all you're gonna do, quick detach, get it lined up, ratchet, and you're good to go. Quick detach the suppressor. Now, with that being said, I have the 3-prong flash hider through Dead Air. I got that mounted on there with no shims. Got that on there. With the left side of the weapon, I have a Trex Arms Light Bar mount. It's gonna basically push. So I bought this after I got my suppressor because the other mounts didn't really push my light out far enough, I felt like. So with the suppressor on there, if you have a light mounted more towards the rear, you're gonna have some suppressor shadow, which if you're okay with that, that's okay. But the reason why I got a light bar was to mitigate suppressor shadow. So basically it just kind of runs it out, the light out as far as it can go. I have it to the most outer portion of my Risk 2 rail. I have a Surefire Scout Light with the Surefire tail cap, the one that allows you to have a button as well as a port for my pressure pad. So originally I had the other tail cap that didn't have that. With this, I feel like I can have kind of a backup. Obviously, it's not my first choice to press the button, but if I'm behind the weapon system, and let's just say my pressure pad goes down, I'm able to, secondary means, alternate, press the button for the light. So that's kind of my idea behind that. The other pressure cap I had, there was no button. I like this one a lot just because it gives you the versatility and the capabilities of running two primary and alternate way of activating the light. I also mounted the light bar on the left side due to the fact that when I have it slung, if I'm transitioning, the light will actually work as a barrier that'll hit my leg first before the extremely hot suppressor, depending on how much I'm shooting it. It'll just hit my leg first. Whereas when I first got the suppressor, I had this mounted on the other side. Then I realized, well, if I'm going to activate the light, how am I going to activate the light on this side with the button, since I am right-handed and working with the C-clamp. So I move the light bar to the left side of the weapon, where I'm actually able to run pressure pad or button, as well as when I sling weapon out, the flashlight, the weapon light, will mitigate a hot suppressor from impacting my leg and burning the shit out of my leg. Okay, so going back even further than that, basically I have the Magpul Imbus plastic polymer sights. I'm actually gonna switch those out. I'm looking at, originally I wanted CAC Knights Armament sights. They're just pretty expensive. It's kind of hard to pull the trigger on to get those. I'm actually thinking about, in the next couple of weeks, ordering the Griffin Armament sights. And it's not that there's nothing wrong with these. I just don't like the aesthetics of them. They're just really fat. They're really fat. I just don't like the way they look. Not that there's anything wrong with these. If you have those, it's fine. I just don't like the way they look. And they're really bulky and kind of chunky. So I'm trying to get something a little bit more streamlined, slim, and maybe a metal setup. Again, flip up, really easy to flip up. With that being said, I have a Surefire pressure pad. I have the momentary, and then there's a button in the rear for constant. I have it mounted on there reverse, or whichever way this looks. Then I have just some electrical tape holding it on there. Probably should run some zip ties, but electrical tape has a couple different uses. I could take the electrical tape off and use it for something else or whatever. So that's why I'm running electrical tape. So with that being said, I have a BCM hand stop, because this is a pistol. This is a pistol because it's under 10.3 inches. It needs to be 16 inches to be considered a rifle to put a buttstock on it, unless you SBR it through ATF. I am thinking about SBRing it, but at the same time, moving around a lot, going from state to state to state, to fill out a bunch of paperwork, and it'd just be a huge pain in the ass. So I think I'm just gonna keep it a pistol for now. So I can't get a vertical foregrip because of the ATF, because they're wonderful people that come up with great ideas. So I have a hand stop. So it works really well for my C-clamp. Just a reference point for me when I come out, place it into my shoulder. I'm able to consistently grab the same place every single time. I have it mounted pretty far forward, so my C-clamp is all the way out. Not too much to say about that. I have a IWI 45-degree offset sling mount. Originally I had a Daniel Defense that kind of just came off the side. I just kind of felt like it was in the way. So I'm testing this 45-degree mount. It will, since I've shot it, it's directly behind my hand. So where the sling will actually QD to, it's behind it. It's not uncomfortable. I may move it back 1 or 2 Picatinny's from there. I like the way it is right there. Moving back, pretty much all stock, except for a Eotech EXPS 3-0. I also have the magnifier for it as well. The 3X magnifier. Generally I keep this on here. I don't know why I had it off recently. But if you just have an Eotech, it's fine. Honestly, if I just would have did it all again, I probably just would have bought the Eotech instead of the magnifier. Not really into kind of shooting far out. the range closest to me, the outdoor range, I shoot about to 200 to 300 meters. And this gun can shoot out effectively, which is fine. And this obviously helps. But for when I do go to the range, I mostly just go to the 360 range that they have. And I'm just engaging targets 50 meters and below. Just because that's what I like to do. I like to sling, pistol out, draw, do what I gotta do. 50 meters and in is generally what I'm training for right now. So Eotech magnifier. Again, we have the MBUS sights in the rear, same as the front. Potentially switching those out soon. Then I also have a Radian Raptor SD SL. So this is the charging handle that has the ports in it. It's made for suppressors. I got the smaller version on accident. I've never really tried the bigger version, the bigger release point right here version. I think this works fine. I don't have any problems with manipulating it. So unless I get another rifle or a pistol variant, I will try the larger version. This works fine. Being a short barrel weapon system with the suppressor on there, you're gonna get gas in the face, obviously. I don't think it's unbearable. I went to the range about 2 weeks ago, shot it with my suppressor. And yeah, you get gas in the face, but it's not unbearable. I didn't have iPro on, it was fine. Didn't really bother me. So yep, Raptor SD SL, ported version for suppressor use. Works good. I took my Daniel Defense off. My Daniel Defense went off because it was kind of like a mil spec. It was a mil spec version that really didn't have any benefits. It was just kind of on there. From there, I have a bad lever just because one of my friends had one, and I just feel like it works really, really well. I mean, I'm able to manipulate the weapon with my whole right hand without manipulating any of the bolt release right here. I can if I need to, but with the mag pull bad lever, I just feel like it's a faster, easier way to manipulate the weapon. A lot of people say it's cheating. I don't really care. I'm trying to be efficient with this weapon system, and if it's going to help me be more efficient, then I am down for that. So from there, I have a generic safety. It's ambi. It came ambi. I went to Palmetto State Armory here in South Carolina, and they only had FDE version, so I spray painted it black. Some of the spray paint is coming off, which looks kind of cool. The right side obviously is a smaller version, and the left side is generally mil-spec length. I can't remember what brand it is. Actually, I could probably tell you right now. It is the Battle Arms, Cerakote, Flat Dark Earth, ambidextrous, obviously, and that's what I got. So it is a 90, not a 45. I actually have not tried the 45s yet. Eventually, I'll probably put a 45 on here just to see what it's all about, see what everybody's talking about, but that's what I got. Everything else, to the buttstock or the brace, if you want to be technical about it, SBA 3. I think it's probably the best design that they have, just because of the streamline variant. I can still shoulder this weapon if I need to, because the ATF says you can occasionally shoulder fire. So shoulder fire effectively, and then cross state lines effectively as well. I got the split fix. I believe it's through Wisemen company in OCP or multicam color. I put that on there just to try it. I don't really notice too much of a difference. It's just, it is what it is. I can't really remember. So I put that on there just because. Obviously this weapon only comes with one magazine, and it is a Daniel Defense proprietary magazine. I believe it holds 32 rounds, which is whatever. I'm not like super going crazy because it holds 2 more rounds. It works. I use it. Mainly I just use Magpul magazines or metal magazines that I spray painted black. These work fine as well. I try to stay away from using my Magpul and my Daniel Defense at the range. I'll just use metal magazines at the range. Obviously every magazine generally will fit in here and work fine. 5.56 variant. Mag release is the same. Bolt carrier group, Daniel Defense. I probably will get a new one maybe soon. I don't know. It has the stock buffer. That it came with. I do not have extended what are they called? Extended, shit, I can't remember the name. Extended bolts right here, because it's kind of hard to get out. These Daniel Defenses are super tight. This is just it literally just has an H on it, so I'm not even sure what variant it is. Stock, runs fine with the suppressor. Stock trigger. I am in the works of getting a Geisley SSAE trigger for this, just to see what everyone's talking about. This trigger works fine. The other one should just be a lighter trigger pull, more crisp trigger pull. This is more of like a mil spec trigger. Obviously it's got the forward assist. I feel like every rifle or pistol should have a forward assist, just because I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So, and that's pretty much it. I potentially plan on changing out the pistol grip, just to try some other ones. I don't have any issues with this one. A lot of people say that the rubber is just kind of annoying. I don't really care that much. I mean, I think it works fine. I do have ginormous hands, and I kind of feel like if I got the Magpul, I believe it's the XL, it might fit my hand a little bit better, so I don't wrap my whole hand around it like a million times. But this works fine. That's probably gonna be one of my last upgrades for it, just because I think it works fine. I think a lot of people get caught up in, hey, I need to have this, and this, when really I can still be effective with this, and I'm not super worried about it. I'm not super worried about the rubberized texture on it. It's fine. So that is my Mark 18. It's not a clone correct Mark 18, God forbid. Everyone gets super butthurt when we're talking about Mark 18s and risk rails and all kind of 10.3 inch barrels. You need the Surefire. Obviously I have a dead air. It is what it is. I'm not trying to make a clone correct weapon. Obviously it's a pistol. I don't even have it SBR'd. So it's obviously not clone correct, which is fine. I can effectively engage targets with this weapon system. I have a lot of fun with it. And yeah, one thing I forgot to mention is I have a Ferro Concepts Sling in multicam. This is how I mount my sling. Obviously to my IWI 45-degree offset. And then I mount it to The buttstock, I mount it around the buttstock. And I'm here, and it's fine. If I need to adjust, it has a nice pull tab right here, whatever you want to call that. Cinch it to my body, and I'm able to work, do whatever I need, or draw a pistol and do what I need to do. When I come up, I'm good to go. I think it's a pretty good sling. There's obviously a lot out there on the market. I think it works adequately. I don't have any problems with the sling. Obviously, when I get a few more rifles or pistol variant rifle cartridge, I will test out some of those slings, like maybe the Trex Arms Sling, or the Magpul Sling, or the Vickers Tactical Sling, or Viking Tactical. But for now, that's really all I have, and I think it really works out well. Like I said, the only thing that I really want to change on this weapon is this sights, the backup iron sights, and the trigger. Just to kind of see what it's all about. I don't really like the aesthetic of the Magpuls. I can easily throw those on another gun that I get to kind of have it in my toolbox, ready to go. But yeah, that's our Mark 18 Daniel Defense, and that's all I got for y'all. Have a good one.